Badlands, running to Badlands. Explain those Badlands. That's a hell of a name.
Okay.
Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Daily Herald here on Badlands Media. I'm your host, Jon Herold, and it is officially Hump Day. What a day it is. It's going to be a great Hump Day with General Quast launching his new show, Space Revolution, today at 6 p.m. Eastern. Then after that, it'll be Shipwreck, Altered State, Power Hour, all sorts of stuff going on. The Daily Trigger. Phil Scarborough challenged me in the chat. He says, today's challenge focus on just the good things Trump is doing and how grateful we are that Kamala Harris is not a president. I'm going to take you up on this challenge. I'm going to try. I'm going to do my best to not be realistic today. I'm just going to hopium the shit out of this show. Where the hell are you, John? This is my same office I've always been in. It's just the camera's facing the other direction. I don't know. I like the bookshelves in the background. I like this too, but I think I'm going to end up cleaning that side and maybe paint it. I don't know. And then we'll face it back the other direction. We'll see what happens. Still morning. Let's not rush it. But yeah, so challenging myself, super optimistic and positive today. We'll see how long it lasts. See what happens. But yeah, going to be a good day. Make sure you tune into General Quast show. Him and Chris Paul are going to kill it. Yeah, it is lots of lights back there, isn't it? I didn't want it to look like too gamey, but I've had this, like whatever these are called, the hexagon things. I've had them for maybe almost 2 years now, a year and a half or something, and they've just been sitting in my office. I haven't put them up anywhere. It's like, well, if I turn the camera around, I'll put those up. My original intention when I got this house was to stream to this wall. That's why I painted it black within like the first couple of weeks I moved in. But while I was doing that, I had that side set up as my background and I just never changed it. So we'll see what happens. Good color, no need to paint. I already did paint it. That's the thing. Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. Jackie's here to troll me. Good luck. I'm untrollable. Untrollable. Yeah, the whiskey's awesome. I got, oh, no, what? One of them is perfect for a story. Look at this guy. One of my buddies got it for me. Trump flipping the bird. How fitting is that with the story we're going to go through today? Let's do that right away. I also got my Dwight Schrute. Actually, it's technically my girlfriend's Dwight Schrute bobblehead back there. But yeah, let me show you guys this real quick. This was probably one of the more entertaining stories from the last, 24 hours or whatever it's been. Take a look at this. You guys have all probably seen this by now. Boom. I love this. Media is kind of freaking out about it. It's split 50-50. Obviously, all the Trump diehards are like, oh, this is amazing. I don't care. I don't care who you are. If you flip somebody off, it's funny. Which, by the way, why is that even offensive? Like, why is that even who decided that? Like, if I show you this finger, that means good, but if I show you the middle finger, that means bad, and you need to get really offended by it. Like, who decided that? Why is it even a thing? Who cares? But regardless, this is what the mainstream media. Where'd that story go? Here we go. Trump flipped off an auto worker at the Ford plant. The White House says it's appropriate. It is appropriate. President Donald Trump flipped off an auto worker as he toured a Michigan Ford plant in an incident caught on video Tuesday, and the White House defended the action as an appropriate response to someone screaming at the commander-in-chief. And to be fair, like, if that's all it takes for it to be appropriate, he could flip everybody off all the time. Everywhere he goes, there's like protesters. Anytime he's out in public, there's people yelling and screaming at him. Heck, there are elected, in quotes, representatives who like scream and yell at him. He should start flipping them off. That'd be great. A lunatic was wildly screaming expletives in a complete fit of rage, and the president gave an appropriate and unambiguous response. 30-second video obtained by TMZ shows someone yelling in the president's direction, blah, blah, blah. I think the video I just showed, the caption to it says, the Michigan auto worker was yelling pedophile protector. Don't know if that's true or not. Anonymous sources have not yet confirmed. The video then shows the president pointing to the factory floor a few times as he continues to walk through part of the factory, then flips off someone on the factory floor with his right hand. Second video is then played showing what appears to be a more zoomed in shot of the same interaction. TJ Sabula, a 40-year-old line worker at the plant, said he was the person shouting at the president and that he was specifically referencing the president's handling of the matter around the late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Told the Post he has been suspended from work pending an investigation. Doesn't have any regrets, though. No regrets. We haven't heard much from the Epstein story in a while. I mean, I guess technically yesterday with Bill and Hillary Clinton not showing up, or Bill was yesterday. I think Hillary was today, but not showing up for their, oversight committee testimony. Are they going to get, is there going to be contempt proceedings, contempt of Congress? We'll see what happens. But yeah, honestly, this move from Trump, I think somebody in the chat said, I don't know who, that makes me like him even more. Love him more deeply. Somebody's saying I have a crooked sign? Oh, there's a crooked sign in the bookcase. Yeah. Anyway, Rocky coming in late. Good to see ya. Comey is saying yes. Contempt hearing is 121. Ooh, so that's interesting. I'm like I said yesterday, I'm just curious to see where they go with that, if they actually follow through. Is it love Trump Day on Badlands? We'll see. We'll see what happens. I always love Trump. Whether or not I'm reflecting that in the positivity in my voice, that's, I guess, it's up to you guys. We do have a quick sponsor of today's show, and that sponsor is River. And so very fitting, I'll show you the River numbers right now. $97,000 for a Bitcoin at the moment. Badlandsmedia.tv/River. You should be investing, not financial advice. I shouldn't have said should. You should consider your options and potentially be investing weekly amounts into Bitcoin using River. Badlandsmedia.tv/River. And if you're going to get Bitcoin, get yourself a cold storage wallet. I actually just got into mine the other day just to check on things. My Trezor. Badlandsmedia.tv/TREZOR. And it's still pretty slick how that stuff all works. It's all still there. And I can sleep safely at night knowing so. Doge, no update on their website. Silver, though, has been just going bonkers. It was up over 92.50 again, which has got to be, I think, the all-time high. Does it show the all-time high? Let's see. Come on. I think, 92.57 was the all, or 92.78 this morning was the all-time high. It's nuts. Tomorrow, I mean, it's been going up so steadily, too, the last couple of days. Tomorrow, it's going to be over 95. And then tomorrow's Thursday. Friday, before the weekend. I bet it cracks 100 before the weekend. I think I heard in China it's over 100. PJ Corgan, my good buddy tells me that there's never been a bigger psyop than Donald Trump. You know what's funny is I think he's right, just not how he probably means it. Beathers Dick, Comer keeps repeating that the Oversight Committee unanimously and in a bipartisan manner issued the subpoenas to the Clintons. We'll see if they unanimously vote to hold them in contempt and arrest. Oh yeah, E.H. Kyle. John, how about all the crypto? Chris Rumble gave DEFCON 0 last night. That was awesome. Man, I love what Rumble's doing so much. We have our complaints. We can have our complaints about anything. But if we're being honest about it, Badlands wouldn't exist without Rumble. We've been kicked off of every platform. We could barely find a footing in most places. Rumble's the only video platform since 2021 when I started my DPH stuff, which later turned into the Badlands stuff. They've always been there. They never have taken a single video of ours down for any reason. They've been helpful. They've been supportive. They're creating all sorts of different programs for creators to help us stay monetized. It's probably to the point where, I don't know, don't quote me on this. You know, we sell our own ads and we do our own things to try to bring in money, but honestly, like over half maybe of the income that creators make is directly because of Rumble and the programs they're implementing. And so seeing stuff like this, and then not just all the things they're doing with the platform, but the freaking CEO goes on one of our shows and donates to the creators on the platform. Like, who does that? Would you ever see Mark Zuckerberg go into a Facebook Live or whatever and donate? No. I don't even know who's in charge of YouTube, but they would never do it. Elon Musk I could probably see Elon Musk doing that, but I don't know if he has. I don't even know if they have the option of giving during live streams. I don't think they do. It's just really cool how they truly stand behind their mission of, you know, with this platform and product that they're creating in Rumble, and they're constantly making strides to improve it. It's just really awesome. And that's, Rebel Nader, that's why we tolerate the tech issues. I mean, think about it. We've been trying to get monetized on YouTube, again, solely, and it's purely selfish because we want to be able to support all the creators as best we can. And so we're looking for other ways to bring in money. We figured YouTube, if they allow us on there, we'll make money there too, right? We'll take it. We can't get monetized. They're still reviewing our application. Let me show you this. Oh, shoot. I don't know which one it is now. Dang it. I think it's this one. Oh, I'd have to log into a different thing, but it's still pending. It's been pending. Our reapplication for monetization on YouTube for our Badlands Media account has been pending since November 17th. And it says on there, it typically takes a month, but it's been 2. It's been almost 2. It's crazy. But Rumble's great. I do believe in their future direction. I think they're doing the right things for the right reasons. They're not perfect. Nobody is. But we really appreciate them. It was really cool of him to go in last. I think he donated like $1,700 in crypto through Rumble Wallet on the Q show. 17 comms. Speaking of that, you know what? I'm going to do let's see what I got. Do I have any ads from Studio I can run? I do, but I might wait a little bit. Yeah, I'll wait a little bit to run those. All right. There was one update on the presidential website, and that was these nominations sent to the Senate. And I did learn something when these went through. So Scott Bessent was the name that stuck out to me. There's probably more, but this is by far, I would say, the most impactful one, biggest name. He is being nominated to be the United States governor for the European Bank for Reconstruction and Development, the United States governor of the Inter-American Development Bank for a term of 5 years, United States governor of the International Bank for Reconstruction and Development for a term of 5 years, and the United States governor of the International Monetary Fund for a term of 5 years. Where it says here, Vice Steven Mnuchin, that's the guy who was holding all these positions previously. So for the entirety of the Biden term, and I didn't even realize this, but Steve Mnuchin was in charge of all these things, or he was the United States representative to all these different groups. And I think these are globalist entities. I think it's stupid. I don't think we should be in them, whatever. But I didn't realize that he was still having some sort of active role in terms of representing the United States with Trump out of office. And I just find that to be fascinating. But yeah, now Scott Bessent is overtaking him. And what's also interesting here is whatever happens in Ukraine, it's likely that these entities are going to be the ones that get involved financially with it. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm hearing something weird in my ear. This one headphone thing is driving me nuts. Don't understand. But the $1 billion loan guarantees, a lot of that was coming from the International Monetary Fund, the IMF, the World Bank. American investment banker and film producer Steven Mnuchin. It's not nothing that the Department of Labor has been flat out Q posting. You know, I think we tried talking about this on Only Lines on Friday, but Josh kind of took over the show. Didn't let me get a word in. I was going to give a rebuttal, and then I got bored, and I was like, what's not worth it? But anybody who pays attention can see the hype around like what happens when anybody tied to the government posts anything even remotely, you know, Q drop-ish. And everybody treats this as decode, right? Like if I was in those positions and knew that, I would post that stuff all the time. Think of how much attention it's bringing to the posts. It doesn't mean that the Department of Labor is part of the Q team. I mean, it could. Maybe it does. I don't know. Steve also bought NYCB, now Flagstar Bank. I did not know that. John, did you see John Solomon on Bannon today about news coming out next week on the Mexican government involvement to bring migrants to the U.S. under Biden using anchor babies and birthright citizenship? I did not see that, but let me see if I can find a clip of it, because that would be interesting. John Solomon, Bannon. There's a lot out here about There's a lot about here about the migrant stuff. Here's a clip.
Meanwhile, we're seeing the flow of money. It wasn't just Minnesota. So last week we talked about this, Steve. $700 million in suitcases flies out of Minnesota, often headed to either Amsterdam or Amsterdam to Dubai. It was a foreign ATM machine moving money out of the United States from the Somali community. We now know that this money was being staged in multiple locations. This morning, the Transportation Security Administration confirming they tracked $136 million from Columbus, Ohio. Columbus, Ohio has the second largest Somali population after Minneapolis. The money is in suitcases in Columbus. It flies to Minnesota. It goes to Minneapolis. Then the couriers in Minneapolis pick up that money, combine it with the money in Minnesota, and take it overseas. Now, why are we have banks, we have remittance centers. Why would the Somalis be doing all of this in suitcases, keeping it off the books and out of the radar? Why wasn't the Biden administration stopping it or raising questions about it? And where was that money ultimately going? Was it going to Al-Shabaab? Was it coming back into the United States in political donations? Was it just moving money out to help poor Somalis in their country? We're just starting to get a look at that. But this was a sophisticated money courier system, and Somalis are at the center of it. The same Somali.
Yeah, I feel like that was a rhetorical question. Obviously, they did that to steal the money because it was not earned in good ways. I forgot I was going to be positive. So you're right, guys. Department of Labor is Q. Trust the plan. Where we go one, we all go. We're good. Things are good. We're good. Let's go through a couple Trump Truth Social posts. First of all, this is what he said to me yesterday. Congratulations, John. Thank you, sir. This is my official response. Thank you. Appreciate you. You're the best. Love you, man. But then there's some other posts too. Donald J. Trump, the United States needs Greenland for the purpose of national security. It is vital for the Golden Dome that we are building. NATO should be leading the way for us to get it. If we don't, Russia or China will, and that is not going to happen. Militarily, without the vast power of the United States, much of what I built during my first term and am now bringing to a new and even higher level, NATO would not be an effective force or deterrent. Not even close. They know that, and so do I. NATO becomes far more formidable and effective with Greenland in the hands of the United States. Anything less than that is unacceptable. Thank you for your attention to this matter, Donald J. Trump. And what I think is interesting about this is a story on Just the News, where Trump keeps saying, like, either we do it or China and Russia will. Well, this story comes out from Just the News today. Danish intel warned last year about Russian and Chinese military goals toward Greenland and the Arctic. While Denmark's leaders downplayed the threat to Greenland posed by Russia and China amidst President Trump's desire to acquire the frozen island. Denmark's Danish Defense Intelligence Service recently released an assessment bluntly warning of Russian and Chinese military ambitions toward an expansion around Greenland and the Arctic. So apparently, like even the Danish, they knew this was coming. They saw this was coming. Oh, you guys, should I show you what the actual post was? From Trump. It's kind of funny how many people fell for this, by the way. Let me show you. Congratulations, Jon. World's greatest lotion tycoon. Softdisclosure.com, not endorsed by Trump. That's some pretty good Photoshop, I must say. I did a pretty good job with that. The real picture, obviously, is some dude in Florida. Some dude running for a fake election somewhere in Florida. Greenland, another wealthy family's pissing match utilizing war machines, in my honest opinion. I still can't believe that there's only like 55, 60,000 people in Greenland. When you think about it, nothing can stop what's coming. Doesn't really mean anything. Well, if I'm being positive, you're wrong. Yes, it does. It means everything. And I'll save my realistic take. Somebody remind me tomorrow. I'll be super realistic tomorrow. 56,000. Why? I mean, I just feel like... Jon, how did you make your fortune? I took a lucky bet on the lotion industry. Yeah. I just feel like a land that big, I mean, I feel like more people would be there. Is it really that harsh? Like, why aren't there more people in Greenland? I am genuinely curious. I've never been, so I can't speak to the landscape or what it's like to live there. But I live in North Dakota. I feel like it can't be that much different. Anyway, effective February 1st, no more payments will be made by the federal government to states for their corrupt criminal protection centers known as sanctuary cities. All they do is breed crime and violence. If states want them, they will have to pay for them. Make America great again. This is great. Long overdue, but great. Like, we need to cut off all federal funding to every blue state, to all the states. Like, we shouldn't be spending money to the states anyway. It should be the other way around, if I'm being honest. The state should collect the taxes if they levy them or whatever, your local communities for the roads and all that stuff, and then whatever is needed to fund the military, which is really all we should have. Okay. The rest, no taxes. And it shouldn't be taxed anyway. It should, what am I saying? Sorry, be positive. Be positive, Jon. Taxes are great. We love taxes. Government's great. They're fixing it. We don't have to be upset about it. They will solve all our problems if we just vote hard. Okay. Here's a super positive story. FBI searches home of Washington Post reporter in classified documents investigation. Washington Post disclosed Wednesday that the FBI searched the home of one of its reporters as part of a classified documents investigation involving a government contractor. According to the paper, agents searched the Virginia residence of reporter Hannah Nathanson and seized her phone and a Garmin watch. Do people really, like, is Garmin still a thing? Don't people just use like their iPhones or iWatches or whatever? Like, can you like text people on a Garmin? I guess I don't even wear a watch anymore. I just wear like the bracelets my daughter makes me. And I got a couple Badlanders ones on I found in my office. I think I got this one at the last guard. I don't remember who gave it to me. I think it was just on a table, actually. This is a Florida Badlanders bracelet. Yeah. Anyway, I have an iWatch, but I never wear it. The search was tied to a probe into a Maryland-based system administrator accused of removing classified reports from secure facilities. Court filings show the contractor Aurelio Perez Lugones was charged earlier this month with unlawful retention of national defense info. Affidavit alleges he improperly took the materials home. I just like seeing the collusion between somebody stealing classified documents and the Washington Post, because I think a lot of this stuff goes on. Like a reporter getting classified info. This is something that the Pentagon has made us stark, like, this is what we are focusing on. You guys will not do this ever again. There was a whole kerfuffle way back a couple months ago now. I can say last year. There was a whole kerfuffle last year with the their press credentials. cut back on the dosage. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't feel right to be like this positive, guys. Maybe I am. Maybe I am a negative Nancy. John, start a watch company. You can call it bad timing. Ooh, gosh, that's such a great idea. I gotta write that down. I'm gonna start keeping a list of all the companies that we're gonna found. We have bad floors. Didn't we do one yesterday? Bad staples or something? And then bad. What did you just say? Bad timing, was it? I think it was bad timing. I really like that one. I'm gonna go with it. So many business opportunities. Bad hands show exposing taxpayer theft. I like that. Bad earths. That's the one, the mining company. Bad earths. I'm gonna end up having like $1,000 a month in just domains that I have of websites that I've purchased for companies that don't exist, but would be great if they did exist. Trump moves to cut federal funding. I just read that story. We'll skip that one. There wasn't really anything exciting in the financial stuff. Like there's a few stories about the Fed and Trump going after Powell or whatever. Mortgage refinancing is surging, which makes sense because the interest rates have come down a little bit. And then existing home sale prices for 1.18 million units available for sale at the end of December, down 18% from November. The median price of a home sold in December was $405,000, up 0.4% from a year earlier. Have you guys ever seen that clip of Powell when he's like, the interest rate that we're trying to get to is 2%? And he's asked like, well, why? And he's like, well, we just decided that's what we should try to do. Let me see if I can find the clip. I just don't remember where I saw this, so it's gonna be impossible to. Is this it? Okay, here. This might be it.
For the general public, for those working families and people, why 2%? Why is getting it to 2% so important?
So that has become the globally agreed, essentially all major central banks target 2% inflation in one form or another.
How does that help my Nevada families? How does that help people in Nevada?
I'll tell you how it does. And it's I guess it's obviously not, it's not obvious how that is, but 2% inflation, to have people believe that inflation is going to go back to 2% really anchors inflation there, because, the evidence is and the modern belief is that people's expectations about inflation actually have an effect on inflation. If you expect inflation to go up 5%, then it will, if everyone kind of expects that, because that's what businesses and households will be expecting, and it'll kind of happen because they expect it. So
the question is, why is that the target? Like, why wouldn't the target be 0? I guess when you print money. So stupid. You guys have some great suggestions. Bad credit for our credit card. That's a good one. Bad books accounting. That's really good. Ooh, bad shit. And it could be a manure company or fertilizer company. Bad shit. Ooh, that's good. I'm legit writing these all down. So I'll try to keep up with the list as we go through more stories here. I covered that one yesterday. I don't know why that's still up. I did think this was weird framing from Politico or New York Times. I mean, why Greenland matters for a warming world. The fate of the world's largest island has outsized importance for billions of people on the planet because as the climate warms, Greenland is losing ice. Look at this lesbian here. Do you think Simone Segupta is a lesbo? Not that it matters, but let's see. This Molly Gupta spouse? Doesn't say she has a husband or a wife. So anyway, sorry, I was digging on that. I really needed to scratch that itch and find out what her sexual preferences were. Turns out the fate of the world's largest island has outsized importance for billions of people on the planet because the one thing that Greenland is quickly losing is ice. Most of Greenland's landmass, which takes up about 2 million square kilometers in all, or nearly 84,000 square miles, is covered in ice. That ice is melting rapidly because the polar regions, which I thought we fixed global warming. I thought we fixed that. There was a story a couple weeks ago. In short, climate change makes the Arctic more accessible and more of a strategic target for world powers, a fact not lost on President Trump. His fixation on Greenland is an admission that climate change is real. They're trying to spin everything into climate change. So stupid. So annoying. That's why he said she was lesbian, because like only lesbians can be that annoying. Maybe that's not true. Maybe there are some not like pleasant lesbian. I don't know. I don't know many. I don't even know if I know any other than Burning Bright. Let's see what else we got. Oh, the Danish and the Greenland are actually at the White House right now, meeting with Vance and Rubio. I still don't understand why Trump is not in that meeting. But speaking of other geopolitical stuff, Trump is feeling obligated to take action on Iran as administration weighs the risks of retaliation. President Donald Trump, facing a red line on his own making in Iran, increasingly believes he must take decisive action against the regime amid a violent and deadly crackdown on protests, according to officials familiar with the matter. They met on Tuesday to further refine a set of options for the president. He joined the 2-hour-plus meeting after landing back in Washington from Michigan, the auto export stuff. He's shown video on the ground from Iran as part of a briefing. In recent days, the president's national security team has been split on whether to move forward with a kinetic strike. They said that any such military move would not include boots on the ground, and so the administration does not want protracted military involvement in Iran. Of course we don't, and we shouldn't. So I'm curious to see what he does here. Like, best case scenario, let's let Saudi Arabia and the Middle East help figure that shit out in a positive way. Let's positively allow somebody else to do this so that I don't have to sound negative when I say that's a bad thing for us to be doing. Oh my gosh, you guys are coming up with so many good names. Bad Studs Lumber Company. That's good. Bad Waters. Bad Dykes for a hydro energy company. Speaking of lesbians. Oh. I own a cleaning company, but I'm not going with bad cleaning. Yeah, that just doesn't, it's not quite catchy enough. Bad cleaning. You need something like, I don't know. We could come up with a name. Bad Floors is already taken. Bad. You guys have to think of it. But anyway, I don't know what's going to happen here. I feel like this is probably also a Venezuela type template. Like whatever we think of Iran is not what it really is. You know, the mainstream media, what they present Iran to be, Israel, what they present Iran to be. Same thing with Venezuela, same thing with Ukraine, same with all these places, Russia, China. We don't know the actuality of what's going on here, but the timing of this right after the Venezuela situation is notable. People are like asking Trump to get involved, like begging him. Will he do it? I don't know. I don't know. Thank you for One Resolute Man for becoming a monthly supporter. Appreciate that. Go. What you gonna do? Bad boy. That was good. I thought that went well. Thought you nailed it. What else? I thought this was an interesting post. There really isn't that much to talk about, guys. So you guys may have to help me think of topics if we get done early today. Think of the current situation, though. This is from Kobayashi Letter. Sometimes I like their stuff. Sometimes I don't. But that's okay. Stocks record high, gold record high, silver record high, home prices record high, copper, platinum, money market funds, all record highs, U.S. debt record high, deficit spending record high, household debt record high. When everything hits a record high at the same exact time, It's not a coincidence. Fiat currencies are depreciating, which is what Trump essentially planned to do with the Mar-a-Lago Accords. Steven Mnuchin. Not surprising. We did have some Republican senators subpoena phone companies for names of those targeted in Arctic frost. Do you guys remember when Mike Johnson said that he was going to put forth a resolution or something to change the wording in the bill that was passed to get us out of the government shutdown? Do you guys think he ever had that vote? No, because these people, these senators that are trying to get this info from the phone companies, these are the ones that are going to sue and make millions of dollars doing so. Let me see if I can find that clip. Nope, that's not it. I think, did I say liar? Did I call him a liar in that clip? Oh, what? This is from an account that no longer exists? Or did this person block me or something? No. Where'd it go? What in the world? Well, that's annoying. I don't know how to find the clip. Lee Walton, I just sent you my top 10 best and worst things about Greenland with Grok. I appreciate that. I'll check that out. Bad fiats. Bad health. Somebody stop me. I'm on autopilot. Bad smell, bad day. Bad records. I like that. Record high currency printed. Is Cancun in the chat? Good to see you, Ty. Badlands late night show. Is that true, though, about the currency? Record high currency printing? I mean, it makes sense. I'm not finding anything on a quick search. But anyway, these guys are douchebags. This is so annoying. This still annoyed the shit out of me when it first went through. The fact that they put this provision in there where they could sue just them, not the American people, not other people associated with Trump, just these 8 senators snuck it in the bill. Johnson claimed it, it was last minute, whatever. He had 4 days before they brought it to a vote. This never should have been in there in the first place. But they're moving forward with this. Lindsey Graham's like, I'm going to sue the shit out of them and make a bunch of money so that teach them a lesson that this never happens again. Okay, buddy. Speaking of Iran, I had this out of order. U.S. orders evacuation of Qatar military base amid possible Iran strikes. The United States military has ordered some personnel to evacuate the Al-Udeid? I don't know how to say that word, but anyway, air base in Qatar amid ongoing demonstrations in Iran. Trump suggested the possible military action. It was previously came under Iranian fire in the wake of the U.S. strikes on the Islamic Republic's nuclear program last year. The scope of the evacuation remains unclear. Isn't that the strike where we knew they were going to fire back and didn't do any damage? We intercepted most of it. Pretty sure. Bad hair. I like that. Y'all really need to have someone on that is from Venezuela or a Venezuelan expert. Maduro and Chavez are not good dudes, and they've destroyed VE, Venezuela. 8 million fled Venezuela. Hey, I'm not saying I know one way or the other. I'm just open to both possibilities being true. I'm not married to one. I'm not letting the idea that, yes, Maduro and Chavez are bad people. I'm not letting that dictate all the other information. Like if that is what you're dead set on in your head, and you take all the information in and you're putting it through that filter, you're potentially missing half the story. If that story isn't all the way true, you're missing some of the story. And so I'm looking at the situation. I don't know whether or not Maduro or Chavez were good dudes. I don't care. And when I have that mindset, I can take the information in and put it through both lenses, whether it was from him being a good guy point of view or him being a bad guy point of view. And you look at the whole ball game is completely different. And Ghost is finding some very interesting clips of Hugo Chavez back when he was in office, like back in the day, and what went on down there. He's making some interesting interesting and compelling points. Like the template that we're seeing unfold here, we're certainly not getting the full story. And when the mainstream media and all these people, like this is the same line of thinking we use for almost everything. When all the worst people who have been lying to us forever about pretty much everything are all in agreement that Venezuela is one thing, I am going to have a hard time getting on board with that one thing they're trying to sell me. Phil gets it. I wasn't trying to lecture you or pick on you. Ooh, badass toilet paper. I like that. That's a good one. Confirmation bias, yes. And here's the thing. I could probably get one person from Venezuela to give a perspective on it and be like, oh, yeah, they're the worst people in the world. This is all justified. You got to overthrow them, kill them, all those things. I could also probably find another person from Venezuela who could give me the complete opposite point of view. So then we'd have two people from Venezuela selling two sides of the same story. It doesn't get us any closer to the actual truth. It's the same thing like here in the United States. If you went and found a blue-haired liberal and asked them their thoughts on Donald Trump, and then you found like somebody like me who's just always positive all the time, super cheerful, delightful, some might say, and says nothing but nice things about Trump, you're going to get two different perspectives and versions of what it is to be an American. And depending which one of those you choose, like that's how you're going to base your worldview on America. Because of like, what if you get the lib? What if the lib is the representative? You're like, wow, America sucks. So that's just what, you know what I mean? You never know. We don't know. And we may never know. But don't allow yourself to get married to one idea over the other unless you can prove it. Jessica, 12 indie boy. I didn't realize that many hosts could perform weddings. This needs to be a GARP package. We should make that available. I've thought about that. I'd feel terrible charging, but like, I'd be down to do a wedding for people. I think I need to renew my license or whatever, but it's only like $49, $49.99. Badlands tampons. Bad pawns. Bad pawns? Bad. I like that. I like Badlands tampons. There's something there. We could do something with that. Looks like there is a major countrywide cell service outage going on right now. Lots of people reporting SOS mode on phones and no cell service in lots of areas around the country. Is that here? Or is that in Iran? Like, where are you hearing that? Bad matrimony. Do I do vow? I mean, I'll do vow renewals. Like, I don't think you need a licensed minister to do a renewal, but yeah, I'll do whatever. As long as it doesn't like take away from the conference and I don't have to like plan anything. And you are okay with me winging it, because that's what I like to do. John needs to renew his reverend status if he expects to be an effective cult leader. Yeah. Verizon is the outage. Okay. Verizon's down. Is this a comm? Is this a Q comm? Is it how does this play into the Q stuff? You guys are on fire with the name. I'm gonna have to like save this chat and go back through and find all the good ones that you guys came up with. Anyway, what else do we got? Might be out of actual stories. There just isn't all that much going on. Like, honestly, the most interesting thing to me right now is the financial stuff, like just going through the roof. It's crazy. And it feels like, I don't want to say we're on the cusp of something, but it just feels like something big is coming when it comes to that. Like silver's going up, Bitcoin's going up, everything's going up. It just feels like there's something here, something there. And if I'm going to be positive in a positive manner. It's probably the plan coming to fruition. It's just right there. We're almost to it. And all the prices are reflecting that. And hopefully my Nasara Jasara check is in the mail. That'd be great. But yeah, I don't think there's anything else, guys. So what do you want to talk about? Oh, no, what? I'm going to play a quick soft disclosure ad, and then I'll come back, and then we'll talk some more. So BRB, everybody. Get yourself some soft disclosure beard oil and put that shit on your face.
Get you some of that beard oil.
Now that I'm alone, got the close-up. Do you see how awesome my beard looks right now?
I use the beard oil every single day. First thing. Comes out feeling all silky smooth. I take the dropper and I manually apply the oil directly to my mustache. Nice and, oh man, I love it. And then I do drops all throughout the hair, and then I just rub it all in. And then I top it off with the tallow stick on the face.
I feel like I have to grow a beard just to try this beard oil. It sounds
Do it, Jay.
amazing.
It's all from softdisclosure.com, and the best part about it is you'll be supporting Badlands Media, Annie from Willow and Farms, and basically 3 of Annie's neighbors. So that's 5 total American companies that you'd be supporting with one purchase.
I have been using the Soft Disclosure scentless beard oil every day after the shower. It looks unkempt, but it feels silky smooth. I want to look a little wild and unapproachable, but for the woman I trust, she'll be like, oh, it's actually kind of soft. He is approachable after all. Otherwise, stay away. And Soft Disclosure will help you too with that, if that's the very specific vibe you're going for.
That is very specific, yes. You guys are supporting American businesses when you do that. It's absolutely incredible, and you get a great, great product.
You guys get a great, great product. That is true. Love the stuff. Lotion, deodorant, beard oil, tallow bar, whatever it is. I did see somebody ask in the chat, where was it? Oh yeah, what happens if the EBS test comes through while Verizon's down? Do we miss out on the awakening? Like, do we miss out on the tribunals? What do we do? It's a great question. Fluster Cluck 99. Have you heard anything on the tariff ruling? No, I think I saw something earlier today. Oh, here we go. We do have a breaking news with a siren, everybody. Siren. Massive Verizon outages across half the United States. See, I'm fine. South Canada up here. I am good. You guys down the east side, southeast side of the country, best of luck. I'll let you know how the plan goes. Tariff ruling. I think I saw that it was delayed till tomorrow. It was supposed to come out today, but it got delayed. I could be wrong. Yeah, Supreme Court delayed the ruling on Trump's global tariffs. U.S. Supreme Court skipped a highly anticipated ruling in learning resources, which questions whether President Trump exceeded his authority. Blah, blah, blah. Lower court struck down. The delay with no new release date announced prompted Bitcoin to surge over 4%. So I guess maybe it won't be tomorrow. I don't know when it'll be. A friend just told me her phone says SOS and cannot make or receive calls. That is weird. Anyway, guys, yeah, I think I'm going to peace out. Make sure you do me a favor, hit that thumbs up. I'd greatly appreciate it. I think I got, FixBayNet with the $10. Thank you. This is badmerch.com. You can link to the existing merch page. I love that. The Q Awakening, SCOTUS can stop what is coming. That's a good one. But no, nothing can stop what is coming, guys. Nothing. Never waver on that. Tune into General Quash Show with Chris Paul, Space Revolution, 6 p.m. Eastern. And then we got a whole host of shows. It's going to be a great day here at Badlands. Make sure you tune in. Do me a favor, hit the thumbs up, and I will see you guys next time I see you.
0. 1. Extra, read all about it. 2. 3. Let's get started.
That's real good.
Why they stopping me? Stopping me.